Serhii Burbelo, artist, callsign Museum, Dnipro. He is an artist, member of the National Union of Artists of Ukraine. He is director of the Museum of Ukrainian Painting and deputy director of the Dnipro Art Museum. Painting, architectural forms and installations combining his works. In the center of Serhii's creative world, there is love for Ukrainian culture and the wish to preserve its heritage for future generations. Origins of national identity come alive on his canvases. The patriotism and responsibility for the environment resonate. These works are not only artistic pieces but spiritual symbols that inspire. Today his works are kept in museums and private collections of Ukraine, the USA, Germany and Turkey. In 2013, inspired by numerous trips to Crimea and by plein-air paintings, he created a series of landscapes united in an extensive visual and audiovisual project Qirim. This project has been repeatedly exhibited in Ukraine and countries of Europe. I really wanted to depict Crimea differently, to show its historical aspect, all those nations that passed through it. Even all my works are signed by toponyms, their historical names. This was a message to show there cannot be any Russian world or anything else. It never existed and it is not necessary at all. After the beginning of the full-scale invasion, his prophetic paintings with the sinking of the battleship Moscow, explosions on the Crimean bridge and cotton in Sevastopol were widely recognized. I carefully signed my works when the painting was created, when the event took place. For example, the heat on the Crimean bridge, having the smoke really coincide. I simply once again continued to paint my thumb, but added certain elements that I had in my mind. My personal wish as a citizen, the wish of all our people. Unfortunately, one more painting, Cave City of the 21st century, became a reality. What the artist painted, later it could be seen, a building in Dnipro ruined by a Russian missile. There was one symbolic word where a bombed building was depicted and it could be applied to any of our cities, and there would be some parallels. It could be applied to our residential area Peremora. When the full-scale invasion started, Serhii and his wife were in Hamburg, but they returned to Ukraine. My wife and I had positioned to return to Ukraine. Since the first days of the war, Serhii took active part in volunteer work. He sold paintings at charity auctions to collect money for the Ukrainian army, carried out art therapy for wives of fallen heroes. Apart from my volunteer work, I carried out art therapy for wives of fallen heroes. We got together in this studio. There were a lot of groups. Now there is an exhibition. This is a project of a true love story alive. It travels around all Ukraine. In each city there was its own author and artist who tended to this project. In Dnipro, I was responsible for it. Since 2024, he has been serving in the armed forces of Ukraine. His works continue to be exhibited in museums of Ukraine and the world. Watch the full stories in the documentary film Artists Warriors of Light on D1 and various streaming platforms.